said, well, do you think you can make that into a career? No. Nobody in their right mind wants to be a farmer. No, I mean, that's silly. Why would you ever want to do that? And now you look at things and you're like, that really actually makes sense to be a farmer. I enlisted August of 2003 to be a crew chief for B-1s and then later on C-17s. We got to year number 4 and I had originally enlisted for 6, so we only had just a little bit left. But we were getting to that point to where, hey, we need to start talking about whether we're going to re-enlist or not. And then I got my first injury. So I broke a hip and a pelvis. I was medically discharged from the military. I did end up getting a military retirement out of that with a 90% disability rating. So it's not exactly an easy thing to try and come out of, and then you try and figure out what you want to do after you come out. Because you're so used to doing what you were doing there before, which for me was working on airplanes. So I just kept getting the same question, what are you going to do? 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 We were already doing, grass-fed stuff, but we were buying everything from the stores, grass-fed beef, organic vegetables, to try and keep me healthy and provide wholesome food for the table. So we just decided, well, why not plant a garden? And why not do it all of ourselves? I mean, we have the property here to do some. We'll just go ahead and do that. I decided to go back to school. I graduated WVU with my degree in agriculture and extension education. I minored in horticulture, so I have a plant background as well as an animal science background as well as a teaching background. Crew chief wise, you got to be able to do a lot of different stuff on an airplane. So you have to be an electrician on days, and then other days you have to be a hydraulics expert. On a farm, it's really not much different. You just kind of, instead of having an airplane, you've got a piece of property. So you're still in charge of everything. Some days, you have to put your plant science hat on and say, okay, today I'm going to deal with horticulture stuff. With our farm here, we've only been here just a few years, so we're still getting started and getting everything running. We're trying to do a permaculture setup, so that's why we're using the goats to try and get rid of our weeds instead of going out and using chemical sprays to get rid of those. We also don't use any heavy equipment on anything. We don't want to add any of the compaction that more than what the animals are. So we try and keep all heavy equipment off the field unless we have to. Ultimately, that was what the goal was to try and teach people that have never done this before how to do it. People that don't have a background in animals and farming are now realizing that they need that and that they want that. So that's one thing that we want to try and help out the communities with, is giving back to that side of it. I would love to be able to give back to the veterans organizations like this one.